What's good, guys? Fantasy Joe back here with my week one wide receiver rankings, half point PPR. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I have a ton of offseason content to help you in your drafts, league winners, values, busts, all that good stuff, sleepers. So check that out, and I also post rankings throughout the season as well as regular season advice to help you bring that fantasy championship home after your drafts. There's still a lot of work to be done, so hit that subscribe button to win your fantasy football championships. Hit that like button, really helps out the algorithm, and if you guys have any start-sit questions, leave them down in the comment section down below, and I'll respond. As always, let's hop into it. So I got number one, Kupp against Seattle is just peppered with targets when Matthew Stafford is healthy and in the lineup and is a great receiver. Number two, Jamar Chase against Cleveland. I don't know if anyone has as much touchdown upside on a weekly basis as Jamar Chase does. Number three, Tyreek Hill against the Chargers. I really like this matchup. I think Tyreek is a demon. It doesn't really matter who he plays, and he's targeted, and he's got a great average depth of target as well as receiving a lot of volume in that department. Number four, Justin Jefferson against Tampa Bay. Love Justin Jefferson this season. Basically, these top four guys are all very similar to me. It's just a little bit based off of matchups. Number five, Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think the Lions are going to have to throw. Jameson Williams is suspended. Amon-Ra St. Brown's going to be the guy in every situation on the field. No TJ Hawkinson. More rookie pass catchers around him. I think he's going to be great to start the season, and especially in this matchup against Kansas City where they're probably trailing most of the second half. CeeDee Lamb against the Giants. Lamb is a stud and is utilized heavily by Dak Prescott. Not afraid by that Giants matchup. DK Metcalf, great matchup for him against the Rams. Kind of lacking in that secondary for them and just defense overall. I feel like heading into the season, very underwhelmed. So I have DK Metcalf, especially with JSN. Great chance of a touchdown in that game. 8, Stefon Diggs. Tough matchup for him against the Jets, but he's still got Josh Allen. He's still going to get his targets, and he's still Stefon Diggs. He'll have a chance to make some plays. Still a great play. Garrett Wilson against Buffalo in that same game. I am high on Garrett Wilson this year. I think he is going to be dynamite. Number 10, A.J. Brown against New England. It's a little bit of a riskier play. They could try to take him out as the number one receiving option, but he's one of those guys who could make his whole week in one play, and he's just too good. You're not benching A.J. Brown. It's just not how it works. 11, Davante Adams against Denver. Tough matchup for him, and we'll see how that connection is with him and Garoppolo, especially to start the season, but you're still playing Davante Adams, and his route running ability, he can get open versus anybody. Chris Olave versus Tennessee. Not a super talented secondary there in Tennessee, and Chris Olave is a very talented wide receiver who's going to be featured for the Saints this season. Expect a massive campaign for him. 13, Jalen Waddle against the Chargers. Explosive player last year, and I think he will be dynamite in this matchup as well. I keep saying dynamite. Why? I do not know, but we are in it at this point. 14, Calvin Ridley. I think Ridley's in for a massive campaign as well. He plays Indy. I think that's a good matchup for him, and I think they will try to dust off the new weapon very early in the season and show everyone in the league what they've got and what they need to be worried about when they play the Jacksonville Jaguars. 15, T. Higgins against Cleveland. Joe Burrow, I expect to be healthy, and I'm not scared off by this Cleveland matchup, although I do think they've made some improvement on defense. It's just when you've got Joe Burrow and you've got the kind of weapons that they do, they've improved their offensive line, in fact, as well this offseason. I believe in that passing attack. 16, Devonta Smith. He could be the guy that gets the biggest increase if they do try to take A.J. Brown out of this game, but who knows what their defensive strategy is going to be for New England exactly. So you got to hedge your bets a little bit. I still think that both of them are playable in this matchup, and if I have them, I'm probably playing them. Tyler Lockett against the Rams with JSN out as well. The targets are going to be there for Lockett, and this is a great matchup. Him and DK both have a decent chance at a touchdown. Obviously, will both of them have it? Who knows? But still a lot of upside for those wide receivers. 18, Deebo Samuel against Pittsburgh. They're going to use him in creative ways, and he is going to be featured. He basically has been his entire career when he's healthy. It might not be to pre-Christian McCaffrey levels, but he's not, top 7. I got him at 18. I still think he'll produce for fantasy football. And I think they will give him opportunities to do that with that Kyle Shanahan system. 19, Amari Cooper against Cincinnati. Not super impressed by Cincinnati's secondary. I think they got worse this offseason. I think Amari Cooper will be featured. If Deshaun Watson can take that step up in the next echelon, then Amari Cooper could be dynamite for fantasy football this season. Here I go with dynamite again. I need to find a new word. I don't know why I keep going back to dynamite, but okay. 20, Christian Watson, a guy I think will be a wide receiver league winner this year. Spoiler on that video. But he plays Chicago, not scared in that matchup. In fact, I think it's a good one, and I think Christian Watson will be featured. If Jordan Love is good, he's going to be an absolute smash in drafts. 21, Keenan Allen against Miami. He's been the featured guy, it looks like, in this offseason. They run extremely fast pace of play. They throw the ball a lot, and they're trying to throw the ball down the field. I think all those things bode well for Keenan Allen's fantasy prospects moving forward in the season. 2022, DeAndre Hopkins against New Orleans. They've got some good corners over there, Lattimore and some other guys, but I still believe in DeAndre Hopkins and think he will get enough volume to be able to have a good week. 23, Chris Godwin, Minnesota. I don't think their secondary is going to be that good. I do think their front seven got slightly worse this offseason, so I think Chris Godwin should come out and perform. I think he's a little bit safer than Mike Evans is. I think he'll get a few more targets, has less touchdown upside though as well, but should be a little bit more consistent. Mike Williams against Miami. Like I said, I think they're going to be pushing the ball down the field. I think this could really complement Mike Williams' skill set. 25, Marquise Brown plays Washington. He should be receiving 10 targets every week. Washington's defense is good. I don't know how good their secondary is going to be, though. And like I said, he's going to get volume. And the quarterback, if it's Colt McCoy, I think he will still, produce wide receiver 2 or maybe even high-end wide receiver 2 numbers until Kyler gets back. I'd say, yeah, mid-wide receiver 2 numbers is probably what I would say. Till Kyler gets back, and then that could be sooner rather than later, and he could come out and produce a lot after Kyler's return. 26, DJ Moore. This is mainly just because I don't know how much Jair is going to match up on DJ Moore, as well as they have some other really good corners in Green Bay, and I think he will most definitely be their focus. I think the Chicago Bears will have stuff drawn up for him, some screenplays and stuff like that, but we will see how he is utilized in this week. 27, Jahan Dotson plays Arizona. I don't think Terry McLaurin will suit up. He's still a question mark, though. He could. We will see, but if he doesn't, Jahan Dotson's a great play against Arizona that week. 28, Drake London against Carolina. Received a massive target share last year. Desmond Ritter's had his moments in the preseason. Gotta hope he is solid, but still, with a 30% target share, he's going to have a chance to make some plays, regardless of who's playing quarterback. 29, Deontay Johnson, 146 targets last year, 0 touchdowns. Tough matchup for him against San Francisco, but he should catch some passes and have a solid week. Mike Evans against Minnesota. He does have great touchdown upside, but if he doesn't get one, I feel like you're going to be disappointed in Mike Evans most weeks. 31, Brandon Ayuk had an excellent campaign last year. I think he is going to be better than people think this year. Honestly, we'll rather have him a little bit higher than this, but it's week 1. There's a lot of good players out there. No bias, nothing like that. 32, Cortland Sutton against Vegas. Pretty much the depth chart's going to fall around him, has all fallen down, so he should be the featured guy, especially early in the season, and this is a good matchup. 33, Brandon Cooks against the Giants. I think Cooks is going to be good this season. I think he's going to be the number 2 for that offense. I think he's got more in the tank than people realize. I think he was frustrated playing in Houston last year with how abysmal they were, especially the passing volume and just being bored, honestly, of playing football. I think this will revitalize him in Dallas, and I think they will utilize him down the field as a field stretcher. 34, Christian Kirk against Indy. Honestly, I was going to have Christian Kirk a lot higher on this list a few weeks ago if you had asked me, but now it looks like Christian Kirk isn't playing in the 2 wide receiver sets. We'll see how much 11 personnel the Jacksonville Jaguars utilize with 3 wide receivers on the field, getting Christian Kirk in that slot. If he comes out and plays 70% of snaps week 1, he'll probably be 24 or higher on this list next week, but we just have to figure out what his utilization is going to be like in 2023. That will greatly impact his fantasy upside moving forward. That's what I mean. Hit that subscribe button, stick around, and we can tell you that stuff as the season progresses. 35, Michael Pittman Jr. playing Jacksonville. Certainly has his concerns. Rookie quarterback. Wasn't great last year on a per-catch basis by any means, but he should be the number 1 target, and they are playing Jacksonville. So there's something there that you can rely on as a flex play. 36, Michael Thomas plays Tennessee. Every time basically you see Michael Thomas play, he's been pretty darn good. So I do think that you can play him in that Tennessee matchup even in week 1. If you guys have made it to this point in the video, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and stick around and win your fantasy football championships. If you have any start sits, any comments, any questions, anything like that, leave them in the comment section down below. Hit that like button. Like I said, it really helps out the algorithm, and I'll respond to any of your start sits, any of your questions, anything like that. This has been Fantasy Joe. Thank you guys for watching.